So before we wrap up this read and write tabular data, let's get into our directory and see whether the Excel file has been saved and in what format it has been saved. So I think you are excited to see that. I can see that bliss on your face. Let's get into there. Let's get into the directory and let's see. Okay, hands on. And this is the user's data. This is CSV. You can see that comma separated value, and this is users, just users. It's Microsoft Excel worksheet. It's our workbook. Let's click on this. Yep, it's opened, and here you can see only one page. That's the statistics, and it's clearly on spreadsheet. And here is that even you got the header header marked. Okay, you see that clearly. Okay, as an additional exercise, what I'm gonna do is, this is the statistics page, and in addition to that, I want to add a one more page here. Okay, and the second page here. Okay, so let's get into our Jupyter notebook and let's do that. So let me take this directly from here. So let's take to this and paste it here. So in spite of stats, I'll say users, yeah, to Excel, users Excel SX, sheet name, passengers data. Okay, and let me execute it. uh, Users to Excel, sheet name, passengers index. Let me check what's wrong. Permission denied. Okay, so I think it's open. Let me close this and save it. Now let me execute it again. Let me execute it. That's it, it's done. Now let me open this file again. Okay, and here is the passengers. So the complete data you got. Okay, the passengers data. If you want to add one more page, and similarly you can keep on adding the other page one by one. Now let's look into one more exercise. So how to write an Excel workbook with multiple pages. So let me get here. So write a Excel workbook with multiple sheets. So let me do this and mark down and 3. So for that, let's get into the documentation of pandas. And here, so what we're going to use is to Excel method. So but you can see that data frame dot to Excel method. Inside that you can use the first parameter is Excel writer. The second one is sheet name. But if you want to have a multiple sheets, then we have to go for this. Okay, let me scroll. Let me come here. So Excel writer means it's a string object. So it's an either file path or existing Excel writer. And then sheet name, you have to mention the sheet name, or else by default it will take the sheet 1. And missing data, any representation, string default missing data representation, and the float format, columns, headers, and a lot of stuff is there. But for us, what is important is if you wish to write more than one sheet in the workbook, then we need to specify an Excel writer object. This is very important. We have to specify an Excel writer object. I'll just copy this code from here, and let's get into this and paste it here. So for us, with pd, that's a pandas, and inside that we have taken Excel writer, and then the file name that we want to have is users dot okay, this I'll say users dot xlsx, and as so I want this users dot xlsx as a writer, directly as a writer object. So this I'm gonna use it later. So let me remove this, which is not necessary. Okay, so now df1. So in spite of df1, which data frame I want to add? I want to add users data frame. And to Excel, I'll use a writer because the writer is the name I have given here as a writer. So the writer I will use it here. Then sheet name. So I will say passenger information, passenger info. That's what the sheet name. Then after that, I want to create a second sheet in the same workbook. So this time I want to make it from the stats. Okay, yeah, stats data frame. So let me show you. So this is user Excel, sorry, this is user data frame. Let me show the user data frame. Yeah, users, let me, yeah, this is our users data frame. This is our first sheet in our workbook, and the second thing that we have here is let me show you that a stats data frame. So this is our stats data frame. Okay, so now the second one is stats data frame. Writer sheet name, I will say statistics, statistical analysis. That's it, very simple. And let me execute it. That's it, it's done. So now let me get into my directory, and here is the user's Excel sheet, and open it, and you should see, yes, here it is. I think sheet name 1, sheet name 2. I think have I changed it or not? Let me check. By default it took the values, so let me close this. Okay, sheet name 1 passenger info, second one is statistical analysis. Let me to restart the kernel. Connected, trusted, and execute it. Okay, PD is not defined. Let me execute the pandas. Kernel is ready. Okay, yeah, I think it's done. But before that, let me execute this. Import pandas as PD one more time before we execute other ones. Okay, here it is. Okay, let me execute all step by step. So no problem. User.info stats is no issue. User Excel, and here it is. It's done. Now let's cross check this time. Yes, here it is. See, the first sheet is passenger info, and second sheet is statistical analysis. That's it. That's what is our data. You can see that complete. Let me make it much simpler for you. Yep, and here it is. That's it. You got the clear cut data here. So this is all about the passenger information, and here we got the statistical analysis, and the mean, standard deviation, minimum and maximum, all the values together. So that's how even we can write data frames into workbook with multiple sheets.